Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 7 of my modded survival island. Last episode, we set up this little system over here, and since the end of last episode, I have basically just been AFK letting this thing run, and we finally have a few of the pieces that we're going to need. Most importantly, the 3 redstone crystals, each one of which did require 10 million redstone flux to make. We have all 3 of them. And so today, we're going to start on our Buildcraft robots tree farm. And I've also gone ahead and made this little bit over here. I did this mostly while those were being made, but it didn't take quite as long as those. They took quite a few hours. We don't quite have enough lasers over here, so these lasers can only use 40 redstone flux per tick, which means that basically we were only using power from one of these magmatic dynamos. So these 2 on the ends here, for the most part, weren't actually doing anything because the middle one was providing more than enough power to run these guys at max speed. So it took a lot longer to do than I thought it was going to do, but we do now have all 3 of the redstone crystals, which is nice. And we also have this little island over here, which is where the tree farm is going to go. And I should probably really quickly get some torches down around here before mobs start to spawn in. Right now, it's just a floating island. There's actually nothing like holding it up, which I'm not a huge fan of. I made it floating like this because I kind of want to have a little bit of depth to some of our islands. I want to have some of them like really high up. I want to have some of them under the water and stuff like that. And I'll quickly press F7 and we seem to have got it all covered. But eventually what I'll probably do when we get a few more resources is build maybe some scaffolding, some like big struts to kind of hold the whole island up and make it look pretty cool. But that is something for a future episode. For today, we're going to work on the Buildcraft robots. So I'm going to start by doing a few more things in the assembly table because although we don't quite need them yet, we're going to need them later on in the episode. And due to the fact that these lasers are really flipping slow, I'm going to start them now and we'll come back to them later on. So in order for the robots to actually work, we are going to need 3 quartz Arctic gates. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but we need 3 of these. If you see it says install expansions, Arctic gate, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Arctic pulsar, should I say. And to make 3 of these, we are going to need 3 basic quartz gates, which are these guys over here. And to make those, we simply need some quartz chipsets with some red, blue, and green pipe wiring. So of course, the first thing we need is 3 of these quartz chipsets, which do each require 600,000 redstone flux. Thankfully, I did get some quartz whilst we were in the nether last episode, so we don't have to make another trip. We can simply grab some of you and go and grab some of our redstone from our gems chest, and we should be good to go. So the 600,000 RF could take a little while. And then the next problem is the pipe wiring, because to make the pipe wiring, you actually need the different colors of dye. You need the red dye, the blue dye, and the green dye. And for anyone who's ever played Minecraft before, you will know, and I'm just going to go ahead and make 3 of these. I don't want to waste too much quartz. Anyone who's ever played enough Minecraft before, you will know the green dye is got from cactus, usually. Now, you may also notice we have no cactus. I think we pointed this out like an episode or 2 ago. So getting cactus green is a little hard. However, we do have magical crops installed. If I go ahead and type in cactus green, you can see there is a way of making cactus green using essence of dye, which is got by planting dye seeds. That is these little guys down here, and these are made using 4 of any dye, or lapis, because lapis counts as blue dye, some normal seeds, and 4 weak essence, which are made by using normal essence surrounding a weak infusion stone, which can be made by a diamond being surrounded by essence dust. Also, by the way, between this episode and last, I did a bunch more mining down at level 12, a bunch more strip mining for diamonds and stuff, and I did quite a bit more mining for obsidian because we do need some more stuff. I've gone ahead and put those away in their respective chests. So the first thing we're going to do today, whilst that thing over there is working on getting us the gates, is we are going to make our very first magical crops seed. Now, in the future, we will probably go ahead and make some more seeds and have like big fields of magical crop seeds. But for now, we're just going to set up the one, and we're going to make a watering can to speed up the rate at which it grows. Because by default, these magical crop seeds are really slow, like super duper slow. But if we do something like this, we can go ahead and get a few of these. I think I might actually make more than 1 seed just to speed it up. So we'll go ahead and actually, you know what, we'll make 3 of them. We'll take 12 of those. We'll put those in like so. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do it right like that. And then we're gonna need some seeds, which I think are probably most likely either gonna be in this chest or back over there. And also quickly throw the lapis in here real quick. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using lapis just because we have a lot of it. We could probably get quite a few, like, red dye or yellow dye or anything like that really easily just by bone mealing the grass, but we don't actually have that much bone meal because we do, of course, need to set up a mob farm. There's so much stuff we need to do, guys. So much stuff and so little time. So, instead, we will just grab some of this, which we have plenty of, thanks to our raiding of the villager farms over on the little floating villages over there. How are you guys doing? This, we might have to cut away for this, because that could take a little while, especially, there's like a few more things we need to make in there, and oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. There's a few more things we need to make in there, and they could actually take quite a while, but anyway, let's go ahead and make 3 of the dye seeds, and then we're going to go ahead and make a watering can from extra utilities. That is this little guy over here. It's fairly easy to make. We need this one. It's just simply 4 stone and a bowl. Now, as to whether or not we have stone, that is a different question entirely. We do not. Thankfully, it's not too hard to make. We'll take 4 of you, and we'll make the bowl in a second once we got this thing up and running. And basically, for those who don't know, the watering can allows you to kind of sit and right-click on a seed or a plant, and it will just increase the growth ticks. So there are 20 ticks per second in Minecraft, and basically what it does is it kind of increases the rate at which those ticks occur. So more ticks occur, the plants grow faster, the plants think that time has passed more quickly than it has, and it just causes things to happen faster. It only works on plants, I believe, but there are mods that work that in other ways, that allow you to do things like spawning mobs and all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, let me quickly spread this out so it goes a little bit faster. And just to be super fast, we'll put that in there as well. We've got our bowl, and then once this is done, we should be good to go. We are going to need some kind of hoe, so we'll take you as well, and we will make ourselves... Do you have, like, any iron lying around over here? We don't, but I guess, actually, a cobblestone hoe would work just as well. So we'll take you... We'll take you, and we'll take you, and then we should be good to go. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like this, with this there. Okay, so it turns out that this recipe here is a peaceful mode only recipe that we can in fact not do because we are not playing on peaceful. So instead, we have to use this recipe down here, which is a little bit more expensive, but it's actually not all too bad. So I've gone ahead and got all of those. We can now take this, and as we do not yet have any kind of... Ooh, hello there, my friend. If you could just back away slowly, that would be very nice indeed. That looks like a skeleton. I'm not quite sure why it says zombie. I'm gonna get my pickaxe out. Jeez. I don't really have a space to do this yet, so I'm kind of just gonna do it like here, and then we'll put all these down. Like so. Ooh, that's new. They've got like a little floating icon above them which tells you what crop it is. That's kind of cool because most magical crop seeds do look the same when you plant them down. They all kind of look like this, so without getting up close and personal, you can't really see what it is. Flippin', get the heck out of here. You zombie mother trucker. There we go. Alright, that gets to the nice little chest plate. But yeah, basically, I'm going to sit here. We do need to right-click on the water first to get some water in it. But then you can just sit here. You can right-click. You can see all the dirt instantly turn a darker shade of brown. And you can see the crops are growing. They're growing at a much faster rate than they normally would. And a few seconds later, we have them all. They actually took way less time than I thought they were going to take. So we'll take all of those. That gets us 3 of these. And, of course, 3 more dye seeds, which I will go ahead and put back down because there's really no point in not letting them just kind of passively grow. And then we will go ahead and we got 3 of them, which is enough to make the cactus green, which we will definitely do like so. As I said before, we can probably get some of the rose red by simply taking some bones and bone mealing the grass here. Let's have a look. Please. Oh, that's 1. Not quite enough, really, but oh no, that's 2. Oh, come on here, moment of truth. That's, well, we're not out of bone meal yet. I kind of overestimated there. That's not quite what I was after. I kind of wish we would have a little bit more. Let's try this one more time. Come on, boom. Oh, there we go. All right, nice. So we'll take all of those. We will make some rose red. And then all we need to do is actually turn it into pipe wiring, I think it was. Yeah, so to make these, again, another assembly table recipe. Thankfully, these ones are a lot cheaper than the quartz ones and some of the other ones we're going to make later on, like pulsating chipsets and Antarctic gates. But it looks like this is not yet done. We only have flipping 1. So what we'll do is we'll put that on the back burner for now, and we will move on to making our robots. So if we go ahead and type in robots in here, you can see that no matter what robot you click on, it all comes up with the same recipe because the way you make them is by making a base robot and then in an integration table kind of combining it with a redstone board, which you make blank, and then using the programming table, the third one that we made over here, you can put the programming table in here, you select which robot you want to make, and then it will go ahead and make it using, of course, power from the lasers. So we need to make the basic robot. We need to make 3 of them, and the way we do that is fairly simply some iron, some redstone crystals, and some diamond chipsets. I say fairly simply, it's not. It's actually a really expensive recipe, but thanks to the fact that we did all that before the episode, it's actually quite nice. Do not worry, I will go ahead and get rid of all of this grass between episodes. I'm not a fan of the wilderness look that we have over here on the island right now. So let's take some of you, and let's go ahead and do something like this. Boom, boom, and then we'll take 1, 2, 3 robots. Nice. We'll take 3 of those, and now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and make some of the redstone boards. These are made using redstone and paper, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, as I've done before, is I'm going to go away. I'm going to use the good old trick of the water and the wood going through the crusher over there. Actually, do we have some wood kind of lying around over here? I know I used a lot of it on my bridge, and I might have to go ahead, and I think I will actually, by the looks of things, have to go ahead and cut down a little bit more wood over here to get ourselves another axe. I'll make another axe to cut down some more wood over here in order to make it. Let me do a quick little check in these chests. We have 2 there, which isn't quite enough. No, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to make myself a wooden axe, cut down some trees, go and make some paper using the crusher and some water, and I'll be back in a second. And again, a little while later, we now have some paper, so we can go ahead and do something like this. Get ourselves 3 of these redstone boards, which for some reason do not like to stack. Well, what? They do like to stack, but not, I'm not quite sure what happened there. They seem a little bit iffy, but we can go ahead and stick these into the programming table. I'm going to put them in one at a time because the first one that we need is the picker. This is going to pick up items, and it's not really the first one that we need. It's kind of probably the last one that we need. The 3 that we're going to make, basically, here is we're going to make the... We're going to make the lumberjack. The lumberjack is going to break the logs. We're going to make the planter. The planter is going to plant the saplings, and then what's going to happen is after the planter has planted the saplings, they will obviously take however long they take to grow. Once they have grown, the lumberjack will cut them down. The lumberjack will not pick up the items. It will just leave them on the floor, at which point the robot, that is the picker, will go over, pick them up off the floor, and return them to whichever chest we decide to take it to. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to wait until all of this is done. I'm also going to go ahead and make all of the pipe wiring, and then I'm also going to go ahead and make the Antarctic gate here, which is made by combining this gate here with a... Oh, we need to make the gate first, don't we? Jeez. Okay, so we need to make the gate first. I'm going to make this after I make the pipe wiring. So I'm going to combine our quartz chipsets with the pipe wiring once I've made that. And then I'm also going to go ahead and make 3 pulsating chipsets. If I go ahead and type in pulsating chipsets here, I'm going to make 3 of these, which also require 400,000 RF. I'm going to make 3 of these. Thankfully, we only have to make 2 because you get 2 from doing it. And then if you combine those up with the normal gates in the integration table, you get the Antarctic gates that we're going to need later on. So I'm going to do all that off camera now because it's going to take quite a while for this thing to do it because we have only a few lasers and we don't have enough diamonds to make any more of them. So I'm going to do that, guys, and I'll be back for you in a second. And quite a long time later, we now have most of the stuff that we need to get this show on the road. So we have the 3 quartz and gates, the Antarctic gates that we started making. We have all 3 of the BC Robotics redstone boards that we need. Finally, what we can go ahead and do is we can combine the robots with their respective redstone board, and that should go ahead and start to make those. That's going to require 50,000 redstone flux. Not too much. I mean, I'm getting 80 redstone flux per tick from these lasers over there, which is good. The next thing we're going to have to do is actually start to set these guys up. So we're going to need some more of the redstone kinesis pipes from Buildcraft. So let's go ahead and grab... Actually, we have some of the cobblestone kinesis pipes here, although I would like if we could get maybe the next tier up, which I think it may be in fact quartz kinesis pipes. So it's stone and then quartz. I think we're going to go with quartz. I don't know how much power these robots draw per se, but if we just want to be a little bit future-proof, we can go ahead and make some quartz kinesis pipes. Quartz, ooh, it does require... That's going to require like 8 quartz, which, I mean, it's not that much, to be fair. We can actually do it fairly easily. And when I say 8 quartz, I, of course, mean 8 quartz. For some reason, then I thought it meant 4, but it doesn't. I meant 8 quartz. We're then going to need some sand, which means we have to go ahead and mine a little bit of that. But we are actually well on our way to getting this thing up and running. And my goodness, did it take a long time. It's been about probably 30 minutes to an hour since I cut away from the first part of the video. It took a long time to get that stuff up and running. So we'll set out smelting in there. The first robot is probably already done at this point. So we will take our plan. So it does start with a 20% charge, which is nice. We'll then go ahead and make the picker. The picker was surprisingly the easiest to make. It only took 8,000 redstone flux in the... it only took 8,000 redstone flux to make make the redstone board. I had a feeling that all the redstone boards would cost the same amount, but apparently I was completely wrong, and the picker was a lot cheaper than the planter or the lumberjack. Anyway, let's take you and let's get ourselves some pipes, some quartz pipes. And that is not at all how you make them, and instead you make them like so, and then let's turn them into quartz kinesis pipes like so. I'm only going to make 3 for now, and then we are of course going to need a wooden kinesis pipe. We do have wooden pipes lying around somewhere, but I'm lazy, so instead we're going to go ahead and just make one here, like so, and we're going to set these guys up all the way on this little island over here. So, the way these robots work is we need to give them somewhere to land, some kind of home base where they can come back, charge up if they run out of power, and kind of just sit when they don't have anything to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like this down here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put some kind of generator here. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one of the iron generators that we have down by the crusher, because right now the crusher is not really doing anything. So I think it's making a noise for whatever reason. It's a bit annoying, but bear with it as we get closer here. But it's not doing anything really right now, so we're going to go ahead and take this and stick it down over there for now. And we need to make ourselves what are known as docking stations. These are where the robot's going to sit while they are not doing anything. And on our way back, let's quickly switch that out for the final bit, the lumberjack, which is also going to take 50,000 redstone flux. Docking stations, I believe, are not too hard to make. If we look here, they are golden chipsets and iron. I didn't account for the golden chipsets, and they do actually take a little bit of time, which is a massive pain in the backside. So we'll go ahead and make a few of those, which flipping are going to take a while because this thing's got to finish first, so we might have to cut away again. But we do now have a nice little backlog of things up here if we ever need to use those again, which is very nice indeed. These two have split up now, so one is working on that one and one is working on this one. That's going to take a flipping day and an age to complete, but thankfully we have things that we can be doing in the meantime. So let's put this down over here, and that's going to allow us to send power through these cables and into all the robots. Now, the next thing we're going to have to make is what is called like a planner? A zone planner. This guy over here, this thing's a little expensive. It requires 4 iron, 2 golden gears, 1 diamond gear, 1 empty map, which is a clock, and a compass, and a map, or a map 0, and some maps, but basically we're going to use a compass and some paper, and this is what we're going to use to designate an area for the robots to work in, because by default, they will just do whatever the heck they want. They will just scour the earth looking for any tree that they can possibly use, any piece of grass that they could possibly put a sapling on, and any item that they could possibly pick up. It's a bit crazy. I did a bit of a test in a single player creative world before I did this episode, and the picker was like going underwater and like picking up ink sacs that dead squids had dropped as they like got trapped into blocks and died. It was really weird. It was cool because it meant we got extra ink, but it was really weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and grab some gold, and also let's go ahead and grab some diamonds. We do have some more from our mining trip up in one of the chests over there. And now, what do we need? We need 3 golden gears, because we do need a golden gear for the diamond gear. So we'll take 3 of those. Well, they're going to keep 2 of those golden gears and turn 1 of them into a diamond gear. And I think we are nowhere near close to done because we need to go ahead and make ourselves some more paper. But a little while later, now that we have some paper, we can go ahead and make ourselves a compass, like so, and then we can surround that compass with paper to get ourselves an empty map, and then we can go ahead and put all of the rest of the parts in there to get us a zone planner. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down over by the tree farm. Our lumberjack is done. We do not yet have any of the golden chipsets. They are going to take a flipping heck of a long time, but that's fine. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to set this down somewhere over here. Now, I don't believe this thing requires power, which is nice because we don't really have the power to give it. So we're going to put this down, and if we look inside, it comes up with a little map of what we have here. Now, you'll see that when I kind of drew an area here, if you see a little plus here, and you click and drag with the left mouse button, it draws an area, and this is basically the area you can assign your robots to work in. Now, it doesn't do it automatically, and it does link in with these gates that we've made, and we'll get to that in a second, but basically, if you have it set on add, you can sit here and draw little boxes. You can draw different colored ones, because you can have a bunch of different robots working in different areas, and then if you change it to the remove, you can do the same thing, and it will remove any in that area, and you can just click on any one of the 16 paintbrushes down here, and that will also get rid of them as well for any of those little areas as you wish them to be removed. So the next thing that we're going to need in order to actually make this work, in order to link the area that we define in the zone planner, which is going to be this area of, you can like right click to move. It's not this area, it's this one here. Not quite sure what this is because we quite clearly don't have that attached anywhere. It might be underground, but basically we're going to define this circle here, and we'll use like a red paintbrush here. We're going to define this area here like that. And I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna make it as tight as I can. I think we could scroll in here. That's as far as we can get. Okay, we're gonna make this like as tight as we can, because I don't want them kind of going too far out and doing what I said before, like going down and trying to get things from squid. So we will just do it like that. That's kind of okay. And then the next thing we're going to need, I believe it's called some kind of map. Let me have a look here. We need this guy, the map location, which is made using more paper and some dandelion yellow. Thankfully, earlier in today's episode, we did break a bunch of grass. I've also gone ahead, by the way, and broken all the grass from the island whilst I was waiting for all the chipsets and stuff. And we did get quite a few, like, fruit seeds from magical crops. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I'll show you them here. I also graded this chest because the default route was getting way too full. But we got ourselves some of these, like, grape, chili, cucumber seeds from magical crops. No idea what they're about. And I also spilt a bit of lava because I, of course, did have to go and fill those guys up because we ran out of power a few times. And we have one chipset, which is just flipping great. But, yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away now, I guess, again. I'm going to get some more paper so we can make the map location. When I come back, I'll show you how we can use those with the gates to make the robots do what we want. I'm also going to wait for these golden chipsets to finish so we can make the docking stations and put the robots down. I'll be back again in a second. Alright, so a lot of assembling in the assembly table later, and I believe we should finally have everything we need. So, we made all 3 of the golden chipsets. Whilst I was waiting for those to be made, I remembered that we also needed 2 iron AND gates, which I've also gone ahead and made. Thankfully, these are a lot less expensive to make. They only take 200,000 redstone flux, as opposed to the 400 or even 600,000 that some of the other items that we've been making today have required, but we should now be good to go. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some docking stations. We need 3 of these. They are very, very easy to make, requiring only iron and the golden chipset. However, oh, yes, no, we don't. We're missing like 3 iron, which I actually think we do not have. That is going to be a massive pain in the backside. Actually, I did put all of my ore into the ore chest, please. Yes, oh my goodness, yes. We have 29 iron ore in our ore chest, thank goodness. Alright, so we're going to make that. The iron gates are going to be for the chest that receives the items that the tree farm acquires. So let's just go ahead and say, like, grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Throw those in there, that should be fine. I believe we have enough power to where this should work. I'm going to take these out of here because right now, obviously, the iron generator that usually powers the basic smeltery is not within use. It's actually over by the robots that we're going to be using in just a second. So I will take what should be 10 iron dust. There we go, and there we go. We'll smelt this up over in the furnace over here, and we'll begin to set things up. I also went ahead and got the paper as well as 1 dandelion yellow because we only need the 1 map to set the area for all 3 of the robots. So we'll go ahead and make this as well. Boom, and boom, and boom. Nice. So whilst we wait for that iron to smelt up, if we head on back over to our area planner, I can never remember the name of this thing, to the zone planner, and if we look at, I think it was red? No? I thought we did red. I guess not. If we go to red, and we click plus, and we kind of highlight this area here, like so, and then we put the map location in the top right, it's going to go ahead and write that map location to this map here. Nice. So now that this little map location is telling anything that we put it on to use this area right here. Cool. We'll head back, we will make ourselves the last docking station, and then we can start putting our robots down. So, let's take you, let's go 1, 2, 3, and the chipset. That gets us the 3rd docking station. These simply go right on top of these pipes over here. You can put them, I believe, on any kind of pipe from Buildcraft. We're going to put them on the power pipes because this allows them to charge up like so. And then before I put the robots on, we're going to tell the robots what to do, and we're going to use that using these quartz gates. We're going to put these on the side like so. And then if we right click on them, what we're going to do is we're going to say, right, basically this allows us to do if statements. Now that basically means that we say if this first criteria is met, in this case, if there is no redstone signal, which there won't be, what we want you to do is we want you to work in an area. What area? This area. Simple. By the way, you will only get these little, like the working area command if you have a docking station on top. If you don't have a docking station on your pipe, that like little option will not come up. That took me so long to figure out. I got so angry with this little section whilst trying to do it in testing. But then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to say, if you don't get a redstone signal, we want you to work in an area, this area, and the same over here. If you don't get a redstone signal, work in an area, this area. Boom. And then we can go ahead and start to put all of these down. But what we need to do next is we need to be able to give these guys all the items that we need, because as of right now, they don't have anything to do, basically. We've got this planter, but the planter can't do anything. And also, if we put some fuel into here, like so, it should start to send power down this line, and they should start to charge up, which they are. That is good. 24, 25. Good stuff, good stuff. They don't have any stuff. For example, the planter doesn't have any saplings. The lumberjack obviously has no trees to cut down. And the picker has nothing to pick up. So what we need to do is we need to make a place where they can pick up and put stuff down. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a chest. I'm also actually going to make a crafting station for this island, so we don't have to do a ton of walking backwards and forwards to get stuff done, even though we are going to have to walk backwards and forwards to get stuff done. Actually, no, we won't. Ignore my last statement. Let's take this. Let's throw it down. And let's get ourselves a chest. So we're going to put this chest, let's say, here for now. And basically what I want to do is I want to have one pipe that's going to allow these robots to pull things out of this chest. For example, the lumberjack requires an axe in order to work. So before it can do anything, it needs to pick up an axe. The planter requires saplings in order to work. So let's put some saplings in here. And then let's put this iron gate on to this one. We'll do it like so. And then I believe we do maybe need a docking station on here, actually. Let me take a quick look here. If I say redstone off, we don't get the option I'm after. So, again, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away because I need to make 2 more docking stations, which is only 2 more chipsets. But it is going to take a little while, so I'm going to go away again and make 2 more of those. I'll be back in a second. Now that we've got what it takes to make 2 more docking stations, I can continue on with what I was trying to do earlier on today. And what we can do now is we can set up this pipe here to allow the whatever robot sits on the docking station on this pipe to receive items. So we're going to put the robot thing, I guess, there right at the end. And now if we look into the iron gate again, we should have more options, such as provide items. It's right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a similar thing on the top here. You can use any type of pipe, basically that's not a wooden pipe, because obviously wooden pipes are used to pull stuff out, and the rest of the pipes can be used to put stuff in. So let's put another docking station right about there. Let's put another iron gate on, and this one, we're going to say, again, if redstone signal is not applied, because we want this to happen all the time, then accept items into the pipe. And again, it's kind of the first one. I'm right-clicking, so I'm going backwards. You can left-click as well to go forwards, which might have to, you'll have to cycle through a few of them. But if you get to accept items, now these robots can come and sit on here and give items into the pipe and put them into this chest, and also receive items and pull them out. So this should actually start to work here. I'm not quite sure which one's which. I think this is our lumberjack and this is our planter. This guy should start to come and get stuff from this and begin doing things. Now, they are a bit slow sometimes. They do take a little while to kind of recognize what's going on, but this should work. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think it needed to be fully charged. I put some more fuel in here. I chopped down some more trees, but you saw it. He went, he picked the stuff up. This guy is also recognizing. I dropped a torch here to test it. He's going to go. He's going to pick up the torch. And then if there's nothing else for him to pick up, I think if we drop something, he might come back to it in a second. But once he's decided what he's doing, he's going to drop it off. It's going to move into the system. Oh, yeah, look at that. Good stuff, good stuff. So this guy over here has just put down a tree. Let's see if we can make this tree grow real quick. Oh, we can't. We can use the watering can, I guess, to try and speed this thing up. Because what I would like is I would like for our lumberjack to do something as well. So for our lumberjack to work, we do need to have a hatchet in here for him to use. Once he's taken the hatchet, he will hold on to it until it breaks, and it'll break. Kind of like a normal hatchet will. This guy won't do any particular order to his planting. He'll kind of just plant things down wherever he can in this little area here. I have no idea what the algorithm is there, because he seems to just do whatever the heck he wants. But what we should see now is, in a second, this guy should recognize that there's a tree within his defined area of work. He should then go pick up the hatchet, cut down the tree. He will keep a hold of the hatchet after that, but then he should just, like, leave all the stuff on the floor. This guy will see stuff has been left on the floor, and then should go and do something about it. It seems like once they get started, they do a pretty good job of staying active, but it just seems like they seem... Oh, here we go. They take a little while to get active. This guy's going to take the hatchet. Like so. Once he's got it, he's going to work his way over there. And then once this guy's done his thing, it's going to start doing its thing as well. So like I said, once they get working, they seem to keep working pretty well. And that's going to mean that once this tree farm gets kind of populated quite nicely, because this guy is planting things down a lot faster than he's cutting them down. Once it gets populated quite nicely, there should be more trees than he can, like, deal with. So he should be constantly cutting things down and doing stuff like that. It's a bit of a shame it went on the edge because, as you can see, stuff did fall into the water, and this guy will go and try and get them. So he will pick all this stuff up, and then he will probably go down to the water as well to get those. It's not too big of a deal. It just means that it takes him a bit longer because he is pretty slow. But within the time before those items despawn, which they haven't done yet, I'm just a bit out of render distance there, this guy should figure out that there are items over there, and it should start picking them up. And again, once he gets working, he should work a lot faster than he is doing right now. It's just taking them a little while to kind of figure out what's going on, and I would like it if we could kind of show this off, like, fully working before we end the video here. I'd like him to go pick stuff up. What I'm going to start working on next episode is kind of automating this fully, because right now, there are certain sections of this that don't really work. For example, once he runs out of hatchet, it's going to stop working. The system just doesn't work. As you can see, he's going to come over here. He's going to pick all this stuff up one by one. He will pick up everything before he goes back and drops it off. And I believe he's going to go into the ocean here to try and pick this stuff up. Yep, there we go. He's off down. He'll come back in a second. But next episode, I want to come back and I want to start automating some of this stuff. I want to make sure that we constantly have a supply of hatchets over here. I want to set up a central power system somewhere so that we take all of the wood from this chest, send it over to either some iron generators or some other kind of generators. We could use the engines, the stone engines? Sterling engines that we've been using for the quarry, anything like that, but I want to have one big central source of power where all of our power comes from, and hopefully most of it will come from this tree farm here, then we can distribute it around to everywhere else, and it will be pretty freaking awesome. How is this guy doing over here? He should be on his way back anytime soon now, once he's picked all this stuff up. He may come back. Oh, there he is. He came back. He probably went round underneath and came back this way, but as you can see, he's dropping stuff up. Everything's coming down. We're getting more saplings. We're getting more oak. This guy should then have an unlimited amount of saplings because you get more saplings than it takes to plant a tree. And yeah, this is our tree farm, guys. It's a bit hectic and a bit expensive to make and much more hassle than most other tree farms. You could set up a mine factory reloaded tree farm so much simpler than this, but I have done that so many times before, and I think this is really, really cool the way these guys work and just put stuff down. I think it's awesome. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Modded Survival Island there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit that like button. This episode took forever to make. It would mean a lot to me. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.